It is your boy, Lord Thaddeus Cray. I'm gonna go ahead and do a cryptid one this time. If you want to call a giant a cryptid, I'm not really sure that would even really fall in the category. I've done videos on giants before, supposedly the lovely offspring of some poor women that were got a hold of by some very amorous angels of the fallen variety, potentially. And of course, the result of that being monsters. Cannibalistic, gigantic monsters. This is going to be about one. I've already done a video a while back on giants, so it's going to kind of be a tie into that, but this one is going to be more of just one. I'm talking about the giant of Kandahar. There are so many different variations of this thing, it's ridiculous. I know for a fact L.A. Marzulli, and I've listened to a lot of his stuff, he took this and ran with it. Now, again, you kind of have to consider the source. Do I think the guy is legit? I can't really tell you. I know Steve Quayle, for the most part, has a lot of legitimacy, and he's tied to Steve Quayle. So I'm not sure if there's a grift or not, but I do believe something went down over there. This, I want to say, happened in Afghanistan, I believe. Right, of course, when the quote-unquote war on terror began. Big eye roll there. But moving on past that, now, I ain't gonna believe. Now, let's leave it this. I ain't believing that there was some sinister stuff going on, which was tied to what happened in 9/11. There was. But at the same time, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Those in power love to make a bad situation worse by capitalizing on it. Nothing new there, right? Excuse me. But that's just how it is. Supposedly, he had a bunch of military guys exploring the hills and the mountains out there. That entire area is nothing but desert and mountains. You have to think about this. The guys in Afghanistan and all that, that's how they were able to fight the Russians back. Of course, we helped them. Providing them with missiles and weapons, things like that back then. But in the end, they were able to fight the Russians off because that entire area is great for guerrilla warfare and damn near unlivable to the Western mind. So naturally, of course, I think that we were probably sent over there to get things that were best left alone. And this is kind of a good example of that. Supposedly there was a bunch of military guys they were doing a mission over there of some sort. And pretty much they were exploring the cave systems. And like I said, it's vast over there. A lot of caves, mountains, etc., etc. So something this massive could easily have hidden out. And supposedly, this thing was armed to the teeth. It killed one of their guys. I think ran him through with a sword or a spear. Just completely killed the poor dude on the spot. I mean, when you're being hit with something that big by something that massive and strong, yeah, it's over. Good night. However, they opened up on this thing. It took them 30 seconds of continuous gunfire, heavy artillery, all that good shit, before this thing finally was killed. Supposedly there was a dude that was a whistleblower saying, man, this ain't cool. They're hiding this shit. We gotta do something about this. People need to know. Now, I ain't saying it's real or it's not, but I do believe there are creatures like that hiding literally beneath our feet. I've said this many times. Do I think something like this happened? Definitely. Do I think that it might have been glossed over through different accounts or retellings? Of course, it's human nature. I don't know what was down there. So anyway, like I was saying, these things definitely, I believe, are based on some kind of fact. And you gotta think about it. That entire area over there is completely undiscovered, in many ways unexplored, because again, it's just almost impossible to really map out certain areas. Now, I believe that's a lot of what we've been doing over there, not just, fighting terrorists, and believe me, that's definitely the truth, in many ways. I mean, you gotta understand, terrorism is homegrown over there. Believe me, them boys, I gotta give them one thing, they're good at what they do. And making a mess and causing all kinds of chaos and fear in the name of whatever they're believing in, it is what it is. But moving on from that, as horrible as that business is, I believe many of the tribes out there may have been protecting something too that we were seeking. You gotta think about this. I know for a fact there's rumors that Saddam Hussein was trying to rebuild and rediscover parts, I want to say, of old Persia and different parts of just undiscovered areas, as well as possibly technology that might have been obtained by his hand. I think personally that's one of the reasons we went over there and invaded. And yes, he was a nutcase, and he was causing all kinds of chaos. Yet, we tend to have our hands in almost every pocket, if you get my drift, and not in a good way. That's just how it is. But I also believe very firmly over there in Iraq, again, I think they found something. Think about this. It's kind of related to the Kandahar Giant, but at the same time it might not be. But I think it is. Supposedly they found the tomb of Gilgamesh or Nimrod, and that is a problem. Supposedly he was very large, a giant, very powerful, intelligent, just all kinds of scary stuff. And I've read the epic. Believe me, that is difficult to understand, but let's leave it at this. Old boy there got around, and he did a lot of stuff. So you have to think about this. What is it they found over there? I believe they found something. But I'll tell you right now, they ain't gonna be talking about it. Supposedly the giant of Kandahar was a giant red-headed creature. Looked like a man, just big. 6 fingers, 6 toes. You know the drill. And very hungry, and obviously pissed off. He didn't like being disturbed in his lair. So actually, I logically can understand why the hell that thing put up such a fight. But of course, our boys had to defend themselves. Again, I don't know if it even happened, but I do believe there's something. There's truly something that was based on it. Just gonna leave it at that. Also, since I've been putting out stuff, I believe it's time that I started putting out a few other things. I'm gonna branch out a little bit. How I'm gonna do them, I'm not quite sure. But also, every now and then I need some help. I admit that. This ain't a grift, it's just facts. I'm gonna go ahead and put my Cash App and my PayPal down in the descriptions. Because honestly, every now and then I could use a pack of smokes. I enjoy doing this, but sometimes I need help. That's just how it is. I ain't gonna hide what I do. I'm not a greedy man. If you don't, hey, I'm gonna continue doing what I do anyway, because I love it. But at the same time, I've been doing this for a little over a year now, and honestly, every now and then I could use some help. I'm just gonna put that out there. You guys know what I do. If you've had a cryptid experience or a supernatural experience, hit me up. My email is wesvic137@gmail.com. You guys be blessed and you be safe.